Final Fantasy XIII-2. The story so far. Whoever you are.
No Christ.
Is that a toy Moogle? But I want to see lightning so much. I'll be back. No! Cool.
We have to figure out the labyrinth.
You'll be sure to arrive in the future you want. This must be the eclipse.
You know what this is?
They found traces of what looks like a large-scale battle in these ruins. They uncovered piles of bones that were all scratched up.
People in the past had to live through some tough times.
That's right. And it also looks like they were fighting their own kind, not outsiders who had come to raid their town. The group that stayed on Cocoon and the ones who moved to Pulse aren't on great terms. If things escalate, we might have another war.
You understand why I wanted to show you the Oracle Drive?
I think I do. You've been looking for lightning too all this time.
Yes. It's not much of a clue, but I thought you should see it all the same. And I wanted you to see how far we've come.
Tell us about these ruins. What have you learned about Padra so far?
We're still excavating, gathering clues, and putting things together. But Padra was likely founded before the War of Transgression.
And that was what? 680 years ago?
Yes. We've actually found records in an Oracle Drive that describe the conflict. The seeress gazed into the future and saw a war that would occur after her own nation was destroyed. We've still barely scratched the surface here. The Oracle Drive is my main field of research.
Keep this to yourself, but we're working on a method that will let us travel into the future.
Can't you just use the gates?
A method that doesn't require any special abilities like you guys have. In a powerful gravitational field, the flow of time slows down. You could go to sleep for a day, and outside 100 years would pass. It should be possible to build a device to exploit that effect.
If you pull it off, maybe we'll meet in another era.
So, did you figure out where the gate was located?
The Academy's troops are made up mainly of former Sanctum soldiers. My commanding officer even fought in Cocoon's capital city.
My baby gets so lonely all by himself.
If I could go back in time, I'd go back 10 years ago and try to stop Cocoon from falling out of the sky. Although, I guess that would mean we would be under the Foul Seas rule again. The people who work for the Academy aren't perfect. I know they've made quite a few errors in judgment.
Anything new to report?
This is what happens when you're soft and you're
Giddy up.
What are you?
I don't want him in someone else's care.
they say. Time to forget.
Make sure to watch your step when you're walking along the cliffs. It's a little embarrassing, but this one time, I accidentally slipped and almost went over the edge. At that moment, I was sure I was gonna die. Fortunately, help came right away, so the only casualty was my wristwatch. It's now lying at the bottom of the valley. It scares me to think that could have been me. I still miss that watch. It was an expensive one that had to be modified to withstand all the wear and tear of the outdoors. What a waste. You'll look for my watch? Are you sure? Believe me, I've tried, but have had zero luck. With the eclipse keeping everything in the dark, it's almost impossible to see anything around here. I doubt it's the best time to go searching.
Over there, bud.
Here he comes.
The Academy is becoming more and more...
I work better at night, so I wouldn't mind if daytime never came.
I miss Cocoon's night sky.
Giddy up. Giddy up.
What? Huh? Impressive. I need to pick up some cat food.
The creatures that appear due to the paradox are foreign indeed. It's like the laws of physics don't even apply to them.
So they're from a different world. Maybe from Valhalla.
Whatever the case, it's all conjecture. We don't have enough samples to prove anything.
You two are famous. People say that you're quite the swordsman. Do you care to prove that you're as good as they say? I recently received an urgent request from one of the labs at the Academy. They need a fang from a behemoth as soon as possible for a project they're working on. They don't want just any fang, though. They need one that's in pristine condition. Unfortunately, with the military's current weapons, there's no possible way to take down a monster of that size without ruining its fang in the process. Now that you know the situation, if you happen to come across any, would you mind sharing them with me? I know it's a lot to ask, but it would help me out so much. Thank you. I appreciate this. If you're as good as they say, this should be easy. Once the Academy gets their hands on an adequate sample, they're going to use it to research all sorts of things, such as the monster's biology and evolutionary background. A behemoth fang? And it's in such good condition. I can't believe you managed to get this. So the rumors were true. You two are nothing less than excellent. The Academy scientists will be thrilled. Once the lab gets a hold of this, they'll be able to figure out everything they need to know about the monster, like where it comes from. Did the paradox bring this beast from the past or from the future? Is it the creation of the foul sea, humans, or Mother Nature? What you brought us will give us the answers we've been searching for. I want to thank you for helping me out of this predicament. Here, take this as a token of my appreciation.
There's a considerable time-space distortion up ahead.
This must be the gate Hope was talking about.
Maybe. Yeah? What?
There's something on your mind.
Yeah, well, sure, but it's just personal stuff.
Is it about the Cirrus?
That's right. Nice guess.
It must be so strange to be able to see beyond your own present.
That reminds me of something Lightning told me. She said that from Valhalla, you can see all of history.
If that's true, then the Padre Cirrus and Lightning have seen the same things. Which means Lightning already knows what's going to happen to us. Poo-poo? Something had been bothering Noel. And it had been ever since we heard the story about the Padre Cirrus Yule. But, of course, he wasn't the only one who was troubled. Was it really lightning I saw in the flickering images of the prophecy? The only way to find out is to go through this portal and solve the paradox.